What is going on, IE Sports Radio fans? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition live here on the Spreaker with the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Please follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. That's the main hub, the main X account for all of the awesome IE Sports Radio shows. We got a big day ahead of us on IE Sports Radio, with starting off with, of course, yours truly if you're listening live right now. Also, if you stay tuned for the rest of this awesome Wednesday, we have, following my show at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Carolina Cast, followed by the East Coast Red and Gold Show. Then we come at you later in the evening with the Bayou Bulletin. And then finally, we end the day with the Heart of Texas Sports with It's Drewski tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got a full load of awesome IE Sports Radio shows for you. Follow all the other IE Sports Radio shows that come to you live here on Wednesdays, mornings and evenings and afternoons. That's at IE Carolina Cast. You get at IEECRG IESR, at Bayou Bulletin IE, and then of course at Heart of Texas IE. Follow all those awesome main show pages for all the remaining shows that'll be live later today on this Wednesday. Awesome day for IE Sports Radio action. Shout out to Taryn Rodriguez in the chat room. Thank you for joining me, sir. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yes, I did. After I hit the 50th episode of my show, I decided to change it up a bit and look for a different show. I wanted something more lively, something more exciting, especially since we are on an exciting season of professional wrestling with the road to WrestleMania. Do not forget, fans, check out IESportsRadio.com. You can join for free, and you can interact with all the hosts from IE Sports Radio. You can check out old episodes if you're just now tuning in and you've missed some episodes you want to catch up. We have links to all the shows on the main show pages on the website. You can actually read blog postings, interact with the blog postings that are posted by the hosts of IE Sports Radio shows. And if you're really a fan of IE Sports Radio and you want to show your love, throw some shekels our way by going to our merch store, the IE Sports Radio shop, and buy yourself some IE Sports Radio gear. And also show some love to our main sponsor, that's Planet Jerky. Go to planetjerky.net and order yourself some delicious 100% beef brisket beef jerky. No MSG, low in sodium, high in protein, delicious 100% beef brisket beef jerky. Planet Jerky. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah! Got a lot to talk about today, guys. A lot has been going on the road to WrestleMania. Not only that, if you've tuned in and you see the title of my episode for today, it's my Friday night at SmackDown, because this past Friday night in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, myself and my father, Padre Saint, went to the American Airlines Center and were live in attendance for WWE Friday Night SmackDown. It was a sold-out house. Completely sold out. Not an empty seat anywhere in the house of the AAC. 13,388 strong. Complete sellout of an attendance. Not an empty seat anywhere in the house. It was crazy. It's been so long since I've attended a sold-out wrestling show in a big basketball size arena like that. I've been to, smaller house shows that sell out because of the size of the arena. It's kind of hard not to sell out, especially with the WWE. Even during, the bad times, the dark ages is what I like to call it. But even said, that was insane to see the entire arena filled from top to bottom. I don't even know if the Mavs fill up a seat, or the Dallas Stars can sell out the arena like WWE did. It was their 6th consecutive sellout. I'm going to just talk about it right now before I get into the news. Let's just talk about it. So, it was awesome. Like, the energy of the crowd, you could just tell it was a different show because of the the excitement, the expectation, everything that was leading into that show that last Friday night, March 8th. It was the big show where Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the 2024 Royal Rumble winner, the man who will face the Tribal Chief for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania Night 2, Cody Rhodes, and his partner, the World Heavyweight Champion, the reigning defending World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. We're going to come to SmackDown and go face to face with the Bloodline. Not only that, specifically with its two main members, the High Chief, the People's Champion, the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment, The Rock, and the undisputed WWE Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And they were going to answer the challenge that was put forth by The Rock at the previous week's SmackDown, where The Rock laid out the challenge. Night 1 of WrestleMania, the biggest tag team main event in the history of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes and that walking clown emoji, Seth Rollins, The Rock's words, not mine, will team up to take on the Tribal Chief and the People's Champ. If somehow by God's grace, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins could beat Roman Reigns and The Rock, then the Bloodline will be banned from interfering. It'll be just a clear-cut, one-on-one match between Cody Rhodes and the Tribal Chief the next night at WrestleMania Night 2. And then The Rock put it like this: win. Not an if, but win. The Rock and Roman Reigns whoop the candy asses of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Then, at WrestleMania Night 2, it's Bloodline rules. Anything goes. At WrestleMania, during the title match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. That was the stipulation. So, that was the main attraction for SmackDown in Dallas. And you could see that the anticipation was in the air, the excitement, the intrigue, it was all there. Me and my father were super excited. We were talking about wrestling. The fans, when we all get together, it's such a close-knit community. Shout out to Ralph Khalees in the chat room. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. I appreciate that. It's when you're actually there, when you're live, when you're sitting around with other wrestling fans, especially other WWE fans, and especially during WrestleMania season, everybody is just on another level of excitement. Me and my father were talking to a few people while we were in line waiting to get into the arena, and you could just tell everyone was so excited. I brought my beautiful replica WWE Championship with me to the show. I wasn't the only one. My Eddie Guerrero specific tribute WWE Championship title, I brought that with me and made a sign that said "Proud Cody Crybaby." And I got a lot of love for the sign and for the championship title. There was other people with their championship belts. I saw so many World Heavyweight Championship replicas. I saw so many WWE Championships. I saw the Intercontinental title. That was like a thing that wrestling fans always do. If you have a championship belt, you either bring it to the arena with you or you purchase one there at the merch stands that are strung out about the arena. We got inside. The show started at 6:45 Central Standard Time. We got a dark match before the crowd went live, or before the show went live on Fox, because the show went live on Fox at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got a nice tag team match to fire up the crowd between NXT tag team Idris Elnoff and Malik Blade taking on the new tag team that they started playing vignettes for on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. Former member of Hit Row, Ashanti the Adonis, and former WWE Cruiserweight Champion and former Raw Tag Team Champion and former member of the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander. I like the tandem of Adonis and Alexander. I think they complement each other really well. They both are high flyers. They both have a nice little way about them. I really can't really think of a different way to describe that. I feel like they click. I think they're going to be a very popular babyface tag team whenever they finally make their debut on the main roster. They're on the main roster. I mean, when they make their debut on television is what I meant. I think they're going to have a very strong following. They're very, very good in the ring together. The chemistry is there. The crowd got really hot for them, and it led to an awesome victory over Enoff and Blade, and it got the crowd really hyped and ready for when SmackDown went live. And when we went live, the very first segment of the show was Logan Paul, the current WWE United States Champion, coming to the ring, standing in the middle of the ring, cutting a promo, and he had a big announcement that he wanted to share with the WWE Universe, and that was starting at WrestleMania and every premium live event from then on out. For the first time ever in the history of the WWE, there will be mat sponsorships in the ring. Not only that, we will have the very first mat sponsorship, and that will be Logan Paul's hydration/energy drink brand, Prime. That's right, there will be Prime logos on the ring mat during WrestleMania. And Logan revealed that with a Prime bottle in the middle of the SmackDown ring. WWE has never had ring sponsorships ever in their rings. I don't think there ever was a time that they've ever done that. I know TNA has done that recently whenever they were at the Paradise Resort Hotel for Hard to Kill back in January. WCW famously did that back in the day, especially around Halloween Havoc time when Slim Jim was the main sponsor for Halloween Havoc. They would have Slim Jim logos in the ring, and the ring posts would be covered in red and yellow Slim Jim logos as well. UFC very famously always has sponsorships on their Octagon mat, Bud Light, whatever. Prime is on there now because they're also a sponsor of the UFC. This makes sense. I mean, Logan Paul is an employee of the WWE, but TKO is the parent company which houses the UFC and the WWE. It just makes sense that Logan Paul would now be an official sponsor. His Prime drink would be an official sponsor for the WWE as well. So I know that it got a lot of mixed reactions, especially online, with many fans excuse me, photoshopping different old classic moments from WrestleMania and other pay-per-views where they just put a Prime bottle in the middle of the ring. A lot of people are not it's going to be a little hard, I guess, for a WWE fan to get used to it, especially old school WWE fans to get used to the idea of having paid sponsorships logos on the mat of a WWE. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. It just shows that WWE is growing. And, this may be the start of something where there could be other sponsorships brought into the company and put on the mat as well. Maybe the ring post, maybe the, how they have that LED screen on the ring apron that faces the hard cam. I mean, they already do that. I know they've done that plenty of times at WrestleMania last year and during other premium live events where certain sponsorships sponsor certain matches. Like this past January at the Royal Rumble, the 4-way undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between Reigns, Styles, Orton, and Knight, that was sponsored by Slim Jim, and so the ring posts, the LED ring post, and the LED screen that faces the hard cam side had the Slim Jim logo. And I think even the barricade, too, had the Slim Jim logo going on as well. So, I mean, it's not the first time that WWE makes it obvious that they have sponsorships for their show. It's just the first time that they're actually going to put it on the actual ring mat. So, I mean, take it for what you will. Not only that, I thought this is a cool little tidbit of news. I'm kind of going all over the place here right now. But not only is Logan Paul's Prime the official sponsor for the UFC, for the WWE, is now as officially announced by the Los Angeles Lakers, because I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a SoCal boy. I was born and raised in Southern California. Grew up a Lakers fan. I'll die a Lakers fan. The Lakers have officially announced that Prime is the official sports drink for the Los Angeles Lakers as well. So damn, Logan Paul's making big business moves, man. Hate it or love it. Hate or love the guy. He is a fucking strong businessman. Him and KSI both. are fucking going in with their Prime hydration drink, and now Prime is the official sports drink for the Los Angeles Lakers, on top of being the official sports drink for UFC and the WWE. And as the promo continued after that, Logan Paul brought out KSI, who I just mentioned, his business partner in Prime. They were talking some more trash. Logan Paul made the mistake of mentioning Randy Orton, and then boom, the Viper, Randy Orton's music hit. And Randy Orton, I got an awesome video. I think I even shared it on my X page. If you follow me at IE Wrestling Show, you saw it. Randy Orton showed up in the ring, tried to RKO Logan Paul. Logan Paul ran like like how JR used to say back in the day, like a scalded dog. And KSI was kind of just sitting there like, oh, what's going on? I don't know. And KSI got turned around. Boom! RKO right in the middle of the ring on the Prime logo. KSI, man, he's got some bad luck every time he shows up in the WWE next to Logan Paul. The last time KSI was in a WWE ring, he was dressed in a Prime bottle outfit like a mascot, and he got put through a table by his buddy Logan Paul when Seth Rollins grabbed him and threw him on an announce table at WrestleMania last year in LA. And now you got this moment here in Dallas where he got RKO'd in the middle of the ring by Randy Orton. This led to the first match on the card, which was a tag team match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, taking on the team of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Solid tag team match. The crowd was super hot for this match. The crowd was way behind, for Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are super over. There was a lot of awesome heat on Theory and Waller, and it led to an awesome spot where Kevin Owens hit a stunner on Grayson Waller, which led to Kevin Owens hitting a pop-up. It looked like he was going to hit a pop-up powerbomb on Austin Theory, but what he really did was he popped up Austin Theory over his head, which led to Austin Theory getting hit with an RKO in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match are Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I don't know what the trajectory is for this for WrestleMania for Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. I don't know if it's going to end up being a triple threat match between the three, or are we going to have like a multi-man match for the United States Championship, or is it going to end up being a one-on-one match between Orton and Paul? I don't know. I really think it should. I would love to see Kevin Owens get a WrestleMania. I want him to be included in WrestleMania. I don't want to see him left off the card. So I really hope we get to see possibly a triple threat match between the three of them, or Orton, Owens, and Paul for the United States Championship. I think that would be an interesting match at WrestleMania. And then after that, I'm trying to remember everything that went on at SmackDown. After that, we had a big match between Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross that was announced the previous week on SmackDown. The crowd was super hot for Bobby Lashley. Man, I don't know what it is. Bobby Lashley just can't be hated apparently nowadays. He's definitely one of the most over baby faces on the SmackDown roster. The reaction he got was very strong in Dallas. Karrion Kross got a very decent heel reaction. I don't know how it came across on television for any of those who actually watched it live on Fox, but Karrion Kross got a very strong reaction in-house at the American Airlines Center. He had his wife Scarlett next to him. They had a pretty solid match, the two big men, which ended in a kerfuffle, I guess, when Occam and Razor of the Authors of Pain showed up to try to beat down Lashley, and then the Street Profits came out. As soon as the Street Profits music hit, man, that place blew up. The Street Profits are one of the most over tag teams on the main roster, and I experienced that for myself live on Friday night. They got a very solid reaction, which led to a beatdown of all three of them. Unfortunately, Lashley and the Street Profits were on the losing end of that beatdown. Standing tall was the Final Testament, the group known as the Final Testament, which is the Authors of Pain, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and legendary wrestling manager, former wrestling manager of the Hall of Fame tag team, the Legion of Doom, aka the Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, who is now the manager of the Final Testament, was there as well, showed up on the ring ramp when that went down. I think this is going to lead to either another one-on-one match at WrestleMania between Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley, or we're going to get a 6-man tag team match between the Final Testament and Lashley and the Profits at WrestleMania. That's my guesstimate. And nothing officially has been named, but that's what I'm assuming based on what happened at SmackDown. Then we got a very quick women's match. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about that online, but I mean, it is what it is because of the time constraints, and they had a lot of time that needed to be given to the main event of the show, which was the showdown between the Bloodline and Rhodes and Rollins. It was Tiffany Stratton coming out. She got a huge babyface reaction. Huge, man. The crowd blew up for Tiffany Stratton. It certainly was Tiffy time in Dallas on Friday. Very strong reaction. I don't know how it came across on TV. But in live, it was huge. She got a huge reaction. She ate it up. She was victorious over Meechum Mia Yim in a very quick match. Just awesome to see that. Tiffany Stratton, ever since coming up from the main roster, and then that huge reaction she got at Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. It seems like Tiffany's going to have a very, very solid career on the main roster. There's already rumblings that Tiffany Stratton is a favorite to win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match here in a couple of months at Money in the Bank in Toronto. So we'll see. Then we got a really awesome promo from AJ Styles talking about LA Knight hyping up their feud. LA Knight showed up via a backstage segment where he got pissed off and beat the hell out of a TV with a steel chair. Definitely, we're going to be getting AJ Styles versus LA Knight at WrestleMania for sure. That's where else would they go with that? It's got to be LA Knight and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I know a lot of people were hoping that LA Knight would kind of rekindle that feud he had with Logan Paul leading into Money in the Bank last year, where it would have been LA Knight and Logan Paul for the United States title, which originally that was the plan months ago. At least that's what the dirt sheets were reporting. But as always, things change. And I think this is actually going to be another solid match and a solid feud for LA Knight because AJ Styles is no slouch. AJ Styles is a former multi-time WWE champion. He's one of the bigger stars on the roster for sure. This current heel run that he's in has really re-sparked and reignited his career. And I feel like AJ Styles is doing some of the best work that he's done in a long time on the main roster. LA Knight is still a very strong, very over babyface. The crowd and myself were eating it up whenever LA Knight was talking. We were right there hanging on his every word with the yeah, with his catchphrase. I think if LA Knight can have a solid match and a victory at WrestleMania against AJ Styles, that's just another notch on the belt to showcase what a star LA Knight really is. So I really think leading up to WrestleMania, I think it's going to be a good thing for LA Knight and AJ Styles as well. Then we had a backstage segment that led to a one-on-one match between the new Legado del Fantasma member, Angel, and he had his group with him, Santos Escobar, the leader, Elektra Lopez, and his cousin Humberto, taking on the luchador Dragon Lee. A lot of us fans were a little disappointed, I will say that, because we thought the LWO was going to show up, specifically Rey Mysterio, because Angel was able to get the victory over Dragon Lee in a very solid match between the two of them. But it didn't go that way. It didn't go the way for Dragon Lee, where he ended up getting beat down by Legado del Fantasma. All the fans were starting to chant for Rey and the LWO, but no one ever showed up to help him. And Legado del Fantasma ended up standing tall. And then WWE, after all that, during the commercial break, they showed an image on the screen in the arena that next week Rey Mysterio returns to SmackDown. I was like, So, no Rey Mysterio on this show, so that was a little disappointed. I know my dad was a little disappointed. Rey Mysterio is my dad's favorite wrestler, so. But that was the final match on SmackDown before the final segment, which was, of course, the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins face-off. That, man, as soon as Roman Reigns' music hit, the crowd just stood up. Everyone in the arena was standing, 13,000, almost 14,000 strong, standing at attention, holding their fingers in the air in acknowledgement of the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Champion and the Bloodline. He came out first. The fucking pyro went crazy. That pyro was so loud in the arena. It was insane. The reaction that Roman Reigns gets when he comes into an arena, and it's very rare because of the schedule that he is eluded or is accommodated by the WWE. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like finding a unicorn in the wild or something. He is, that's what it is like when you see Roman Reigns at a live event. That's what it felt like. I mean, you could tell this was a special moment for the fans in Dallas. This was a special thing because of the multitude of the situation, the whole storyline, the season that we're in. It's WrestleMania season, so this was a big, big deal. And then after that, it got even crazier when The Rock showed up right after Roman. He came out. He had his own entrance. The crowd was going fucking nuts. Let me tell you guys, I've seen a lot of crazy reactions for wrestlers. I've been to a lot of wrestling shows. I saw crazy reactions for Daniel Bryan during the Yes Movement. I was there. This was in the prime of the Yes Movement. Everyone chanting, yes, yes, yes. John Cena. The reaction John Cena got at any show that I've been to. I've seen The Undertaker. This was during the American Badass era. The crazy reaction he got. CM Punk. I've seen CM Punk. Brock Lesnar. Even Sting. The legendary Sting. In Dallas. But man. That all... Even Hulk Hogan. I even saw Hulk Hogan. Shawn Michaels. Guys like that coming... Legends, guys. Absolute fucking legends. That had to be the most insane reaction I've ever seen. Was when the fucking Rock showed up live in Dallas. It was nuts. It was just endless. Just cheers. It was deafening how loud it was inside American Airlines Center. I don't know how it came across. I know I keep repeating that. I don't know how it came across on television, but man, it was deafening in that arena when The Rock came out. And then right after that, the music of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, hit, and damn near he had almost the same damn reaction as The Rock, because it was deafening. Everyone was singing along to Cody Rhodes' music, you know, word for word, and then when everyone hit that, whoa, it was loud. It was so loud. And Cody and Seth, to add insult to injury, came out from the crowd like the Shield used to do back in the day, which Roman and Seth were both a part of, which led to all this security and all this craziness. Nick Aldis was there, the GM of SmackDown, to try and keep everyone, you know, docile and not hostile. Once they got in the ring, Rollins and Rhodes facing off against Roman and Rock, the crowd started chanting Seth Rollins' music, singing along to Seth Rollins' music, which never even played at any point during SmackDown. Just the crowd was singing along to it. It almost felt like just to not let Seth feel left out, I guess, but whatever. It was cool. Man, what a hot segment that was. It was just, everyone was standing on their feet that entire segment. I wish Fox had let them have an overrun, because this segment should have been a lot longer. And you could tell, it felt like it was meant to be a lot longer. But they answered the challenge, and they accepted the challenge. So, the main event for WrestleMania Night 1, Saturday, April 6th, will be The Rock and Roman Reigns teaming together to take on the team of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. If Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes win at WrestleMania Night 1, then the Bloodline will be banned from interfering in Roman and Cody's match on Night 2. And if the Bloodline wins in that tag team match, then it's Bloodline rules on WrestleMania Night 2. Anything goes, anything can happen, there's nothing off the table at WrestleMania Night 2. But then to add insult to injury, The Rock made it even more personal between himself and Cody Rhodes by calling Cody Rhodes a mistake. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what he said verbatim. I mean, I can't say verbatim, but he put it like this, you know, like, your sister, she was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and then your other sister, there's about 20 years between you and her, correct? And your brother, the future Hall of Famer, you know, he dropped, you know, without saying it, you know, Dustin, a.k.a. Goldust, which is true. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer. which means one thing. You were a mistake. And Cody, you could just see the anguish, the anger come across the face of Cody Rhodes, which led to something that I'm sure Cody Rhodes has been waiting to do ever since the WrestleMania press conference in Las Vegas, was smack the shit out of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which is exactly what he did. And that's how SmackDown went off the air live. But after the cameras had stopped recording, you could see the tension. They were just building. The Rock took off, The Rock was staring at Cody. Cody was staring at The Rock, he was like, come on, let's go. Even Rollins he was like, let's go, let's do this right now. But they were held back by the wise man, Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa, and the Bloodline retreated backstage. Cody and Seth played to the crowd for a little while, and then we sang along to Cody's music. Even Seth got involved and did the whoa with Cody and the crowd, and they left through the backstage area as well. And then just for us live in attendance, after the cameras had shut off, this was just for us, the live crowd in attendance. We got 2 more matches before they send us home. And it was the Intercontinental Champion from Raw, Gunther, defending his Intercontinental title against main event Jey Uso. That's right, Jey Uso was in the house in Dallas, and man, he got a huge babyface reaction. He's definitely one of the strongest, most popular babyfaces on the roster, and the crowd let him know it. Everybody was chanting, yeet, 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 and they were doing the whole hand up and down thing with him. It was cool, man. Jay got a really strong reaction. They had a really solid match. Gunther ended up retaining the Intercontinental title with a roll-up, 1, 2, 3, and a nice solid match. It probably went about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. Good match. And then the final match, technically the main event of the night, was the man, Becky Lynch, going one-on-one with Nia Jax. This match never ever started. They just brawled for about 10 minutes. The match was thrown out because they just went at it and they weren't listening to the referee. There was a table involved. The crowd started chanting, we want tables, and Becky obliged. She grabbed a table, brought it into the ring. It looked like it was about to backfire on Becky because Nia Jax had her on her shoulders, and she was about to put her through the table with a Samoan drop. Somehow Becky Lynch kind of squirmed and squiggled her way out of that, and then hit a power bomb on the much larger Nia Jax through the table to send home the crowd happy. Becky cut a little promo about her upcoming WrestleMania match against Rhea Ripley, and then said, thank you, Dallas, it's been awesome, we'll see you guys next time. And her music hit, and that was it. That was the end of my Friday night in Dallas at SmackDown. My dad and I had a great time. Everyone was sent home happy. You could tell the crowd was still hot and fired up and amped up after the show. That is how you send a crowd home happy. That was an awesome show. What an awesome experience. I have never been to a televised event during the season of WrestleMania. And man, I would love to do it again. One of these, I'm going to cross it off my bucket list. I will attend a WrestleMania at some point, someday in my life. It's on my bucket list. I will attend a WrestleMania. I've been to SmackDowns. I've been to Raws. I've been to house shows. There's 2 more notches on my bucket list. I've never been to a pay-per-view / premium live event, and I've never been to a WrestleMania. I guarantee I will do that at some point, someday. All right, we're going to take a short little break, guys, and we'll be back with some more wrestling news, and we're going to hype up the following new updated cards for WrestleMania, the new entrance to the Hall of Fame of 2024, and NXT's big pay-per-view before WrestleMania, NXT Stand and Deliver. Stay tuned, guys.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here. Every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio fans and fans of the IE Wrestling Show. If you're tuning in live right now, I just went over my experience at Friday Night SmackDown this past Friday in Dallas. It was an awesome show. Me and my father had a fantastic time. I cannot wait to do that again with my dad. Man, it was just really great. So let's get into some wrestling news, guys. We've got a lot of wrestling news. Let's jump into just some AEW news. So apparently, AEW has fired Kevin Kelly, former WWE announcer, former Ring of Honor commentator, and former NJPW commentator. Kevin Kelly has been terminated from his AEW contract due to recent comments critiquing Ian Riccaboni for sabotaging his career has surfaced online. Ian Riccaboni is a current AEW commentator. He commentates on AEW Collision and for Ring of Honor on the Ring of Honor Club television show. Allegedly, Kevin felt like he was tossed aside by the company to make way for Ian, and apparently they didn't appreciate that, so he has been let go from his contract with AEW. And we got a health update for Kenny Omega. So everyone knows I reported this a few months back. Kenny Omega has been out with diverticulitis. Kenny Omega recently provided an update on his health and potential return to the ring for AEW. He said he was shedding some light on his ongoing battle with diverticulitis and the uncertainty surrounding his recovery. Initially set to compete at AEW World's End in December, Omega's plans were derailed when he was sidelined due to diverticulitis, a condition affecting his digestive system. Since then, Omega has been candid about his health journey, sharing thoughts during a recent Twitch stream. Reflecting on his physical condition, Omega expressed uncertainty about his recovery timeline, acknowledging the complexity of his illness compared to physical injuries he has previously endured. He revealed that he nearly faced a severe blood infection, a revelation that underscored the seriousness of his condition. And this is a direct quote from Kenny Omega here. I know how I feel physically. I've been through the ringer in terms of injuries and getting banged up and all that. I kind of know now what I feel like, and I can come back from physical injuries. This is the first time I've ever been put out with a sickness. It's hard to really know what's going on in the inside when you feel a little bit of pain, but you don't actually know the inner workings of what's going on. I'd love to say, hey guys, I'm on track to coming back next week, next month, or half a year. I don't have that confidence this time. When they're explaining to me that I was 24 hours away from a terrible blood infection and possibly dying, this is like news to me. I've never heard anything like that. I wasn't close to dying. Are you kidding me? No way. The doctors are there to ensure my safety and educate me as to how important this is. I don't want to talk out of my ass too much and say I'm going to be back for sure. and I'll be back at a certain date or time because I don't know. I will say after watching Dynamite and getting a feel of the lay of the land, if I can come back, I feel like I have to. We may never get an environment like that again. I don't know if I would call it fun, more of a responsibility. I have a responsibility to mix it up with these guys that call themselves the best. I used to be that guy and have confidence, and now instead of being that guy with a chip on his shoulder, now it's my job to be a gatekeeper. You want to call yourself the best? Fuck, prove it, bitch. That's how he ended his comment. So, Kenny Omega, man, that's a little scary, you know. So, Kenny Omega apparently, he was knocking on death's door, apparently. It got that bad, and he's still on the mend. So, I mean, I wish Kenny Omega a speedy recovery. Don't come back too early. Come back when you're healthy. Kenny Omega, I know I critique AEW in a negative light a lot because I'm just not a fan of their particular brand of wrestling anymore. I mean, it's one thing after another. But I do hope Kenny Omega does come back from this and is back in the ring. So Al Snow, former WWE European and Hardcore Champion, former trainer of Tough Enough, and the current manager/trainer of Ohio Valley Wrestling, had some comments about AEW in a recent interview. Former WWE star and owner, well, technically he's a co-owner, I forgot about that. Co-owner of OVW, Al Snow, appeared on Vince Russo's YouTube channel to give his thoughts on the current AEW product, one that he finds unsafe. Snow explains to Russo why he thinks that a wrestler is eventually going to die inside of an AEW ring. This is a quote from Al Snow. You're going to have those that are going to defend it, and they're going to get upset and take that I've got an axe to grind and that I'm bitter, and I'm not at all. I'm satisfied with everything. I watched this, and I watched the escalation continue all the time. The reason I took up the cause and took up years ago when I ended up buying OVW, ribbing myself, was because I went to the wrestling commissions insisting on standards of training and standards of, activity in the ring. I promise you, there are more accidents that have happened and are occurring like that, and what it's going to take, quite honestly, and we're en route. And when this happens, I want everyone to go, Al was right, okay? Because everyone's going to deny it. At some point, especially the likelihood it is definitely going to occur on a show on AEW, it's going to be on national television, and you're going to watch someone die right in front of your eyes. Snow continues, stating that several moments from AEW Revolution prove that AEW talents are putting themselves at insane levels of risk for the audience's amusement. We now have escalated to where we watch Will Ospreay go up into a vertical suplex with the guy standing on the second rope and drop straight on his head. We watched Orange Cassidy get dropped bodily on the top rope and could almost be cut in half, okay? How much exponentially has the scale went up that we're going to watch someone die, meaning legitimately they're going to die right in front of your eyes in a match? And that's the end of that quote. I mean, I can't say he's not wrong. I've been saying it for months how Tony Khan wants to tout that this is the safest place for professional wrestlers. SpongeBob, meme, safest place for wrestlers. But I mean, AEW guys take too many fucking risks. They take too many stupid spots. They do too many things that just make you go smack yourself in the forehead and be like, "What the fuck was that for?" I talked about this months ago. The match between Rey Fenix and Jon Moxley, where Jon Moxley was concussed, and they still finished the match. It's like he got 2 concussions in one match. He got dropped on his head fucking twice, directly dropped on his head. The Will Ospreay Kenny Omega rematch that happened last year, where Kenny Omega was dropped on his head by a Will Ospreay, right on the top of his head and neck. And then most recently, of course, the thing with Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy was concussed by Sammy Guevara, where Guevara hit a shooting star press and his fucking knee went right and directly into fucking Jeff's head. And then did they stop the match? No. Sammy Guevara, being the fucking idiot that he is, picked up Jeff and hit his fucking finisher on him before pinning him when he should have just pinned him right then and there. That's unsafe. That's unsafe workers doing unsafe things that's going to get someone fucking killed. And now Sammy Guevara is suspended because of what happened with him and Jeff. I reported that last week on my show. So, what's it going to take? What more is it going to take? I really hope it doesn't come to that, but, God forbid someone loses their life or their career or their ability to, move their fingers and toes by doing the stupid shit that they do in AEW rings. Some unfortunate gossip / TMZ news. AEW wrestlers Miro and CJ Perry have filed for divorce after 7 years of marriage. There's not really any more details there. They've been together for 7 years, and they are now splitting up. So that's unfortunate, because they always seemed like a very happy couple. They were always together during their time in WWE as Lana and Rusev, and then continue that over into AEW, most recently with CJ Perry showing up and Miro kind of interacting with each other. So that's unfortunate, so I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully the two of them, get better, I guess. I don't know how to put that. Real quick, AEW announced that AEW Dynasty, its newest pay-per-view that is set for April 21st, Sunday, April 21st, will be coming to you live from the Chavez Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. Tickets are on sale now at AEWTix.com. If you're going to be in the St. Louis, Missouri area, that's AEW Dynasty, Sunday, April 21st at the Chavez Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. And one match is already officially named for that event. It will be Will Ospreay going one-on-one with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. That is the first match already guaranteed for that event. So let's jump into the Hall of Fame, guys. So this past week, a lot more names were recently named for the Hall of Fame of the WWE during WrestleMania weekend, and I am super excited for the names that have just been announced for this upcoming Hall of Fame class. So just recently, the tag team known as the U.S. Express, former two-time WWF Tag Team Champions Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. Barry Windham is already a Hall of Famer, as he was inducted back in 2012 as a member of the Four Horsemen. He will now become a two-time inductee with this tag team induction. And then Mike Rotunda, this will be his first ever induction into the Hall of Fame. Mike Rotunda is a three-time NWA World Television Champion, a one-time NWA World Tag Team Champion, a three-time WWF Tag Team Champion, and a 1994 Slammy Award winner. Mike Rotunda, of course, is the father of Bo Dallas and the late, great Bray Wyatt. Barry Windham is the uncle to Bo Dallas and the late, great Bray Wyatt. These two members of the Windham-Rotunda wrestling legacy inducted into the Hall of Fame as the tag team, the U.S. Express. Congratulations to Rotunda and Windham on their inductions. Just recently, just named today, the former wrestler, this is a legendary wrestler from the heyday of professional wrestling back in the 1960s, Thunderbolt Patterson, known for his, he was known throughout wrestling primarily in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. During the early 1970s, he was blacklisted by the National Wrestling Alliance for repeated appearances with independent promotions, complaints of institutional racism, and attempts to form a wrestlers' labor union. This man was above and beyond his years. He was trying to do what was right for the boys at a time where no one was doing that. The only other wrestler I know of trying to make a union was, of course, the legendary Hall of Famer and former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura. So Thunderbolt Patterson, who was a very famous African-American superstar during his time in professional wrestling, a former Georgia Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion, TV Champion, a former Continental Wrestling World Champion, a former Florida Heavyweight Champion from Championship Wrestling in Florida, a former Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champion. This man has got accolades upon accolades, and now he will add another one as a Hall of Famer to the WWE class of 2024. And of course, I already named last week, Paul Heyman, the wise man himself, is going into the Hall of Fame this year, as well as former WWE Women's Champion Bull Nakano will be headed into the WWE Hall of Fame as well. And as a part of the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame this year, I think it's long overdue. A posthumous inductee, a 3-time World Heavyweight Boxing Champion, an Olympic gold medalist, competed in the War of the Worlds against Antonio Inoki, a match dubbed by WWE as MMA's first big fight. And he, of course, was the special guest referee in the very first main event of the very first WrestleMania between Mr. T and Hulk Hogan taking on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Hot Rod Rowdy Roddy Piper. And he was a guest of honor at the Collision in Korea event that took place with WCW and New Japan Pro Wrestling in North Korea. I am talking about not only the greatest of all time. He floats like a butterfly. He stung like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. Ah! I'm talking about Muhammad Ali. That's right, Muhammad Ali is finally being inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the Ali family. I'm sure they'll be there in attendance. It makes sense. Apparently, The Rock has had a big influence on this year's class of the Hall of Fame for WWE, with him being a board member of TKO. He is technically one of the bosses now of the WWE, and it makes sense that The Rock would want to have a great like Muhammad Ali brought into the Hall of Fame class of 2024. I feel like this even further legitimizes the Hall of Fame of the WWE, having one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Ali has always been surrounded by fight sports, has been involved in wrestling. Of course, like I stated, I just dropped a lot of those big accolades for Ali. You can famously look up a clip on YouTube of Ali being put into an airplane spin by WWE Hall of Famer, the late great Gorilla Monsoon, and you can look up his match with Antonio Inoki and see him on Peacock. If you subscribe to Peacock, you can watch WrestleMania 1 and see Muhammad Ali as a special guest referee for that match. I mean, and Ali is currently a playable character in WWE's new video game, WWE 2K24. So it goes without saying that Muhammad Ali is definitely one of the biggest members of the WWE Hall of Fame ever. Congratulations to the inductees into the WWE class of the Hall of Fame 2024. And that's going to be coming to you live streamed on Peacock immediately following SmackDown on Friday, April 5th from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am coming down to the wire, guys. I only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to try and just jam through this here. NXT Stand and Deliver will be live from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Saturday, April 6th, the same day as WrestleMania Night 1. This is actually going to take place earlier in the day, a special start time of 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and these are the matches that are so far confirmed for that event. Trick Williams will go one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes, as expected. That's going to be an awesome grudge match between two former friends. Trick Williams is going to whoop that Trick. He's going to whoop Carmelo Hayes at Stand and Deliver. We're going to get a tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. And they started a tournament, an NXT Elimination Eliminator Championship tournament. It'll right now we already have one team that's advanced as of last night on NXT. Latino World Order members Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro defeated the team of OTM, Bronco Nima, and Lucina Price in a tag team match. The next matches up in the tournament will be Axiom and Nathan Frazier taking on two members of the No Quarter Catch crew. It could be any of the four members, either Miles Bourne, Damon Kemp, Charlie Dempsey, or Drew Gulak. Any two of the four of those guys competing against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And then the next tournament match will be Hank Walker and Tank Ledger taking on the OC, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The winners of these upcoming tag team matches will then face Latino World Order in a triple threat tag team match. The winning team of that triple threat tag team match will face Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker for the NXT tag team titles at Stand and Deliver. And then the main event for the NXT Championship will be Ilya Dragunov defending the NXT Championship against the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. So that's what we have so far. I'm sure more matches will be announced in the coming weeks, but that is the card so far for NXT Stand and Deliver the morning of WrestleMania Night 1 at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And WrestleMania is heating up, guys, especially after this past Monday night on Raw. The Gauntlet match was received a lot of high praise, and what a strong showing from Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn punched his ticket to WrestleMania. It had to be at the expense of Chad Gable, which it sucks, because those were my two picks, either Chad Gable or Sami Zayn. It really broke my heart to see Chad Gable lose that match, but I feel like Sami Zayn, the crowd was still behind Sami. The crowd was behind both guys. So I feel like Sami and Gunther are going to have a fucking hell of a match at WrestleMania. And this is the WrestleMania card so far for WrestleMania's Night 1 and Night 2. Well, certain matches haven't been announced for either night. So these are the matches that don't have a place on the card yet on either night. They are happening at WrestleMania. We just don't know whether it's happening on Night 1 or Night 2. For the WWE Women's Championship match, Io Sky versus Bayley. For the WWE Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley defends her title against the man, Becky Lynch. Gunther defends the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn. And the Judgment Day, this was just announced together by the general managers of Raw and SmackDown, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Qualifying matches are set to begin this coming Friday night and carry over into Monday Night Raw next week. 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day defends the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles, that's Finn Balor and Damian Priest, against 5 teams that are yet to be determined. And some of the teams that are involved in that 6-pack ladder match that I saw in the brackets will be the teams of DIY, Sangha and Veer, the Creed Brothers, Alpha Academy, just to name a few. And the matches that are guaranteed for Night 2 at WrestleMania, Seth freaking Rollins defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre, and the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns defends the title against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But they gotta get through the main event of Night 1. The Bloodline, The Rock, and Roman Reigns take on Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. If Rhodes and Rollins win, then all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during Rhodes' undisputed WWE Universal Championship match against Reigns on Night 2. If Reigns and Rock win, then the championship match on Night 2 will be held under Bloodline rules. WrestleMania comes to you live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, and live streamed live on Peacock. Guys, it's heating up. The road to WrestleMania is getting closer and closer as each day passes. Thank you for tuning in to my awesome show. I love doing this every weekend for you guys. I love it. I will continue to do this for you guys. WrestleMania season is the best season to be a wrestling fan. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Take care. I will see you guys next week. Same SoCal Saint time, same SoCal Saint channel. Take it easy, guys. Peace.